Margaret Bishop. It is? Well, it's Terry Collier here. Collier. Well, we did once go out with each other because I've got your number written down and I promised to ring you back. When? It was January. January the 17th, 1967. Well, I rang as soon as I could. Just that I've been in the army for the last 5 years. It wasn't always easy to get a line in the jungle. Collier. Well, the thing is, I was wondering if you'd like to go out one night and... You what? Well, it wasn't me. Well, I'm sorry. It was just a joke. Well, there's no need to take that attitude. Aren't you, madam? Dear me. Oh, is that Teresa Palmer? Oh, doesn't she? Well, I'm an old friend of hers. You don't know where I can get in touch with her, do you? The Convent of the Sacred Heart? What is she, a nun or something? She is a nun? Are you sure we're talking about the same Teresa Palmer? Because the one I knew was a right little... Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Palmer. No offense. It was just a joke. No message. Hallelujah. Morag McLean. No, I know she's married. Janice Armstrong. Yeah, getting out there. June. Oh, June. Hang on. June was busting out all over. Oh, is that June? Oh, doesn't she? Who did she marry? Never. Poor soul. Well, who is this speaking, please? Oh, really? Oh, this is Terry Collier. Well, I've been away for a few years. You see, I've been in the army. I've been in military hospital most of the time. Oh, no, I'm fine now, fit as a fiddle. Apart from... Oh, I never talk about it. Collier. Well, tallish, hair brownish, eyes bluish, physique wiry. There's a steely glint to the eye and a dangerous half smile plays around my lips.
What about the tattoo on your left buttock? And your wooden leg, and the steel plate in your brain, and your collapsible elbows?
Shut up, man, I'm cracking it here. I'm sorry, you still there? I can't remember your name. Linda, of course, and you're not married or anything, are you, eh? Who is it? June Craig's younger sister. So, look, Linda, what are you doing this weekend? Thought we might get together and talk over old times. Just hang on a minute, will you, Linda? I think it's New York on the other line. What's the matter?
Just before you sweep this young lady off her feet, before you sweep her off her feet with your dangerous half smile and your steely glint, there's one thing you ought to know. Last Sunday was Linda Craig's 12th birthday.
What? Honestly?
Honestly.
But I've already... Oh, what am I going to say?
Well, tell her New York needs you, or Or you've got to go to Paris to get your wooden leg French polished.
Clorinda, well, the thing is, I really only rang up to say hello to the family and to wish you a happy birthday. So, pardon? Are you sure she's only 12?
Yes, definitely.
Must be these comprehensive schools.
No luck, then?
No. 5 married, 3 moved, 1 insult and a nun.
A nun?
Teresa Palmer.
Hallelujah.
And she used to...
I know. Frequently. Still working your way through a 1967 address book can't help.
That's all I've got. That's my only contact with the past, that. That's where my life stopped here, suddenly. It was cut off. Thanks to someone not a million miles away.
5 years, these will all be out of date, man.
So I'm finding out. 10 calls and not a nibble.
Ingrid Wybrew.
Married.
Maggie Bishop.
Married and with child.
Nancy Ridley.
Moved to Shrewsbury.
Where's Shrewsbury?
League Division 3, about 6 from the bottom.
Jocelyn Jane. She was a nice girl. You were dead keen on her.
I know, she was a canny lass, that. She's married and all. Lives near Berwick. Couple of kids. Husband's a corn merchant.
Really?
Aye, our Audrey keeps in touch. She says they seem to be very happy. And I suppose they're never short of millet.
Her sister's single. I've got her number.
Well, give it here, give it here.
You need a lot of change.
Why?
It's Melbourne 4211.
Oh, very, very amusing. Give us me book back here.
Hang on.
Even if I do trace anybody, I've got nothing in common with them. I've got no links with the girls up here now.
Glenys Roberts, May the 5th, 1967. You took her to see The Sound of Music.
Yeah, she left at the intermission. Didn't feel well.
And you didn't go with her?
You what? Front circle seats, 15 bob a time? And I had to queue for them in the rain a week before.
Well, it's a link, though. That film's still showing. You could ring her up and take her to the second half.
She's not on the phone. That's the trouble. Most of the girls we knew weren't on the telephone. And I'm not traipsing the streets, knocking at doors on spec. That's really picking the key to box 13.
True. Time hasn't been kind to some of the girls round here. Whereas fellas these days seem to keep younger. I mean, I'm definitely better looking than I was 5 years ago. Better haircut, better clothes, bit more style.
True.
And after you've been back a while and get yourself adjusted, you might be the same.
What do you mean? What's the matter with my hair and me clothes?
Well, you just look so dated. Certainly if you meet a girl from 5 years ago, she'll have no difficulty recognizing you. It's as if time stood still, appearance-wise.
I've been in the forces, haven't I? You can hardly expect me to come out looking like Jethro Tull.
Well, maybe you should give yourself a week to adjust. Get yourself some decent gear, then start ringing round.
By the time I get a yes, I'll have hair down to me navel.
Have you tried them all?
And these.
1965, 96... Have you got all your diaries? The Sunday Times might serialise them one day. Terry Collier, Diaries and Letters, Volume 1. A fascinating insight into the artist's formative years. His struggle from Park Secondary Modern to Ellison's electrical apprentice shop.
You never can tell. If somebody in the future got a look at them, it could give them a whole clue as to a way of life.
Oh, definitely. They capture the whole texture of life up here in the turbulence of the mid-60s. The excitement of our lifestyle. Monday, March the 5th. Had to walk home. Had a puncture near the lead factory. Got soaked. Met Sheila for a drink at the ship. She's leaving me for a welder at Swan Hunters. Riveting, isn't it? I couldn't care less. Went home, made some tea, watched Come Dancing. Think I've got a cold coming on. What times to have been alive in.
I did have a cold and all. I was in bed for a week. I don't know. Hey, look at this, look at this. September the 27th, 1967, Blackpool Illuminations, Supporters Club outing. You weren't on that.
Wasn't I?
No, you had an abscess.
Oh, that's right, from learning to play the harmonica.
It was a good day, though. We stopped at Kendal for a pint and a pasty. George Murray fell off the pier. Got the back seat in the coach coming... Hello, hello.
What is it?
I've given this girl 2 stars.
Which girl?
Well, there's no name, just a telephone number, an eyebrow pencil, and 2 stars.
Well, that's nothing to get excited about.
Depends how many stars you had in your system.
7. It was 7. That was the British standard, 7. 1 was kissing with mouth closed, 2 was kissing with mouth open, 3 was upstairs outside, 4 was
I didn't belong to the British standard. I wasn't governed by their rules. In my system, there was only 3 stars.
And you got 2 of them?
In a bus.
Well, ring her up, ring her up.
Yeah. After 5 years...
It's got to be worth a try.
I might. A bit later on, when I've supped a few more. When the alcohol started stirring the old loins. Having another?
No, you're all right. I've got to be off in a minute.
Off? Off where?
I'm due at Thelma's. I told you I was going round there tonight.
My God, she's possessive.
She's nothing of the sort.
You're leaving me, in other words.
In other words, yes.
You're leaving me, alone. Alone with a book of useless addresses and a list of unobtainable numbers.
Well, ring up 2 stars.
What's the point, man?
Well, she must have been a right slag if she gave you 2 stars in the back of a coach going from Blackpool Illuminations.
She'll never remember me.
Of course she will. How could she forget a night like that? The lights and the candy floss and Reg Dixon at his organ and coming home with you, passion across the Pennines. Of course she'll remember. See ya.
Ah, cheers.
Good luck.
Another pint of special love, please. Don't we know each other? For a few years back?
Don't think so, Pat.
Are you sure? Her name's Collier. Terry Collier. I've been away in the forces, on a secret mission. Vietnam. North Vietnam.
Never been to North Vietnam. Been to Mallorca.
Well, maybe we went to school together.
No. I think I'd have remembered someone of your build.
But that's an asset, isn't it, Isn't it?
Pardon, sir?
I say that's an asset since I was here last. Look at that. But she's a big lass, though. I could fancy her, eh? Don't you?
Yes, sir. That's why I married her.
Hello, Pam. It's Thelma here. How are you, love? Yes, he's fine. He's with me now. He sends his love. Yes, I will. Listen, Pam, are you still going out with Morris? Or are you not? Did he? Oh, well, you're well out of it, aren't you, Pet? Listen, Pam, The reason that I'm ringing is a friend of Bob's has just come back from abroad, and I thought it would be nice if the four of us went out one night. Terry Collier. Oh, you remember him, do you? Oh, well, never mind. It was just a thought. Tell you what, Pet, I'll come round and have a coffee sometime, shall I? Right. Bye.
All right, love, you did your best. Come and sit down.
Oh, frankly, Bob, I'm not all that keen on fixing up one of my friends with Terry. I mean, he can be a bit coarse.
Oh, never mind. He'll just have to fend for himself. He'll be down to ringing up 2 stars by now, anyway.
Oh, who's this?
Oh, just a number. A number in eyebrow pencil.
2 stars?
You remember, when we were kids, we had this adolescent sexual scale. 1 star was kissing with mouth closed, 2 stars was with mouth open. 3 stars was upstairs outside, 4 stars was
Upstairs outside? What does that mean, on the bedroom windowsill?
Don't be naive, Pet.
4 was with ladder and 5 was without, is that it?
No, dearest. 4 was...
Oh, I know what 4 stars was. And 5, 6 and 7. When we were 16, it was what you were always complaining about never getting. You all lied anyway, you boys. Subtract 3 from what you said you'd got and you get a true picture.
Yeah, so you can't do that with Terry. There's only 3 stars in his system. He never had our finesse.
No. Nor did the girls you went out with.
Oh.
Excuse me, Pet. Hello? Yes, this is 21717. I'm sorry. Some madman says, do I remember Blackpool Illumination, September 1965?
I'll get you for this, Collier! I'm surprised you got the nerve to come round here. I'm surprised you don't feel any sense of embarrassment after last night.
All I feel after last night is a sense of having had a few too many.
Working up enough Dutch courage to ring up old numbers from the past.
Oh, come on, Bob, man. It was a joke. I only did it for a joke. I thought I'll give them a ring and give them a good laugh over the late-night cup of cocoa. Thelma said it was a joke, didn't she?
Thelma's attitude was very strange. She went very pale and developed a twitch in her left ear. I had to give her some of her mother's sal volatile.
Was that wise on top of cocoa?
She doesn't think she was on that trip, but she can't be certain. What with the passing of the time.
And the egg, gin and lime she had at the Winter Gardens.
How did you know that? She was there. Well, that was her number in your book, wasn't it? That proves it. Oh, my God.
Oh, don't take on like that, man.
To think that you're the skeleton in my lovely bride-to-be's cupboard.
Oh, I'm not that thin. Wiry I may be, but I'm not a skeleton.
You don't care, do you? No shame, no regrets. It doesn't concern you that you've driven a wedge between Thelma and me.
Take more than a wedge to prise you two apart.
Betrayed. Betrayed by the 2 people closest to me in all the world. Betrayed in the backseat of a bus from Blackpool.
Of course you weren't.
2 stars. How can I live with that?
Oh, come on, Bob. You know how I exaggerate. It was probably only 1.
On a 3-star scale? 1's still a 33% success rate, isn't it?
Oh, Bob, it was years ago. We were children. Children carried away by the day out and the drinks and the sing-song. Children can get very emotional after 14 pints and a chorus of Bladen races.
33%.
We weren't as bad as some of the others. We might have had the back seat, but we kept a sense of dignity and modesty. Eileen Hogg was in the luggage rack with the accordionist.
And all the time I was sick in bed, you took advantage of my abscess.
I didn't take advantage at all. You weren't going out with Thelma at the time. You were having one of your off periods. You haven't always been going out with Thelma, you know. It just seems that way. It was years ago, man. It was kids, not grown-ups, just a bunch of juvenile scruffs, not sophisticated adults like what we are now.
It was still a shock.
You want the Salvalately?
I've always been vulnerable to things like this. That's always been my trouble. Too soft, too trusting, too loving.
God preserve us. What are all these? You've been looking at your diaries, have you?
Yes, I have. I've been looking for some note I might have made, hinting at my suspicions.
How trusting of you.
It was justified. There's a note here somewhere. There's a note I made at the time. Just after that trip, Terry came round wearing his new hipsters and a smug face. He knows something.
He'll never stand up in a court of law.
I shall never be able to get on a bus again without feeling shudders of doubt.
Ooh, it's a bad thing, that, shudders of doubt.
I think she could have told me, don't you? Sometime after we're engaged, I think she could have told me, or better still, years ago. Just after it happened, I think she could have told me. I would have understood. I would have been mature and forgiving and adult about it. I would have gone round to your house, taken back your Christmas box, kicked your head in, and all have been forgiven.
If only everyone could be that reasonable. Let's have a look at your diary.
No, get off. It's private, isn't it? This is a record of private thoughts and feelings. It's not for other people's eyes. It's personal.
I only want to glance at the addresses section. I don't want to read your private feelings.
If I show you girls' addresses, I'm betraying their confidence, aren't I? They didn't give me their numbers so they could fall into your grubby grasp. I've got some integrity.
Away, man, away. They'll all be the same as mine anyway. Yes, there they all are. The same old tired names. Dear me. Hell's teeth.
What is it? I mean, who is it?
How many stars in your system?
I told you, 7.
Well, you're giving Wendy Thwaites 8.
Let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That must mean you got all the way there and went back to the start again. One more time, Ferris, the human dynamo.
No, it didn't mean that. I know what it means now.
You gave yourself a bonus point, did you? E for effort.
Please. She was the first. That's why I awarded her another star.
Oh, I see, like a sort of commemorative medal.
Don't joke about it. It meant something. It might have been a long time ago, but it meant something. She meant something.
Wendy Thwaites?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Heavens, yes. It wasn't such a common occurrence in those days you could forget it.
No, I didn't mean that. I meant Wendy. I didn't think anybody.
I did.
Well, that staggers me. That really does. Wendy Thwaites. I mean, she had such a repressed upbringing. All the family were devout Methodists. Her mother used to stand on the street corner and hand out leaflets about the end of the world. And her father was a Sunderland supporter, so it was hardly a house of gaiety and merriment.
I suppose she was expressing her rebellion, something like that.
I thought her only expression was ballroom dancing. I thought the only thing she ever wanted from a man was a gay Gordon.
But I did rather catch her off her guard.
What happened?
I had to pick her up one night after a competition. She won. She won the competition, so she was all radiant and elated with success.
Success?
She'd just become the 1966 Cooperative Society Regional Subdivision Paso Doble champion.
My God, tomorrow of the world.
Which promised a chance at the Northeastern Eliminators.
Well, you can see how all that could turn a young girl's head. Too much too soon.
Right. I suppose it did rather turn her head. Flushed with victory and baby sham, and the sash and the cup, and the primitive rhythms of Ernie Blenkinsop's Afro-Cubans.
The star was born.
Anyway, she came home with me. My mother was away at the time. I don't think Wendy really knew where she was. I think half her mind was on the quarterfinals and the other half was in the Argentine home of the Paso Doble. It was all very fumbling and immature. You know what those dresses are like.
Hand-sewn.
Pink tulle with a satin bodice.
Very fetching.
I didn't know much about it myself, because I'd had a few in the Empress Ballroom Kon-Tiki Lounge. And things were a bit blurred. But it happened all right. When I woke up the next morning, my bed was full of sequins.
Wendy Thwaites. Who would have thought it? You never said anything about it at the time.
Oh, no, of course I didn't. Out of respect for her and the good name of ballroom dancing. She was very distraught. She was in a bad way for a few days, thinking of giving it up.
Well, she'd only just started.
I meant the dancing.
I was gonna say. Still, you might have given us a hint. I mean, keeping it to yourself like that.
We're not all like you. We don't all shout our sexual conquest from the rooftops. If you had the money, you'd take out peak time ads on the telly.
That is unkind. The reason for this depressing situation is my lack of sexual conquest. Wendy Thwaites, where are you now that I need you?
She's still around. She's with the Ada Bissell formation team. You should join. After a while, you might twirl your way into her affections.
Jackie Norris. She was a fair-looking girl.
Jackie Norris. Ah, she has some form.
Did you go out with her long?
Once or twice, I think. Nothing very heavy.
I think I did.
Ring her up.
Ah, what's the use, man? It's a futile exercise. Anyway, who needs it? No sweat.
She didn't half have a pair on her.
Where's the phone?
Hang on a minute, hang on, I'll do it.
You?
Yeah, your success rate isn't very high, is it? Phone 10, 1 none. Look and learn.
Go on then, Casanova. Her brother was Les Norris, wasn't he? Well-known cyclist and potholer.
That's right. Tall boy with a stoop.
That'll be the potholing.
It's ringing.
Or the cycling.
Oh, hello. Is Jackie there, please? Oh, yes, of course it is. How could I ever forget that husky, sexy voice? Oh, and this is Terry. Terry Collier. I don't expect you remember me. That's right. Of Bob and Terry fame. You do remember. She says, how could she ever forget?
Well, I have.
Oh, well, I've been abroad, actually, in the army. I'm not at liberty to disclose where. The Official Secrets Act, you know. Jackie, let me ask you 3 questions. Are you married? Engaged? You free to go out one night? I'll ring you tomorrow. I'll look forward to it, Jackie. Bye. Great pullers are born, not made.
She's late. She's late.
Oh, that'll be the traffic.
Yes, an own car. That's a change from the old days. She'll be driving you home tonight.
Hey, that's a thought. Might have to fight her off the doorstep. Hope she's not expecting too much. I'm not giving her 3 stars on her first date.
Didn't our brother used to cycle down potholes or something?
Yes, something like that. Well, let her in, before his knees collapse.
I still can't remember her, you know.
Oh, I've got a fairly vivid impression of her. It just stops at her throat.
There you are then, Jackie. Do you remember? Remember those two, the dynamic duo?
How could I ever forget? At least, how could I forget him? Hello, Terry, love. How are you? Oh, it's marvellous to see you again. Oh, and you, Bob. Thelma just told me about the engagement. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah, I think there's been a slight misunderstanding.
Why'd you join the army, love? Was it to forget about me?
Jackie?
Yes, Bob?
Don't interrupt, Bob, darling. It's obviously quite an occasion for Jackie seeing Terry again.
Do you know, when you rang, it brought it all back to me. I had to look up my old diaries and letters and things. Look what I found.
Oh.
Just look at those clothes.
September the 27th, 1967.
At least.
27?
September.
Yes, well, sit down, Jackie. Sit down. Make yourself at home. That's all ancient history now, isn't it? All the past. Who wants sherry?
I was in Blackpool at the time.
So was I on an outing.
The Spanish or Cyprus?
That's right, supporters club. You pretended you were ill, didn't you, Pet?
I was ill, I was. I had an abscess.
An abscess?
Yes, and we sneaked off to the country for the day. Oh, it was very romantic.
Oh, I see. Abscess made the art grow fonder, did it?
Very good. That's very witty, Bob.
Did he take his harmonica with him?
He did, but he didn't play it much that day.
Yes, now listen, there's vodka or Zinzano.
I think you should know, Jackie, dear, that your memory's got a little confused over the years.
There's beer in the fridge if no one wants sherry.
Terry isn't Terry. Terry's Bob. Terry over here is Terry. That, the object of your nostalgic affection, that isn't Terry, that's Bob.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I always did get the two confused. Still, what's in a name, eh?
Well, that happens to be my Bob. Even though he is deceitful and unfaithful and goes sneaking off to the Cheviots with a Jackie Norris.
Thelma.
Oh, look, Thelma. Wasn't exactly the passion of a lifetime, you know. It was only a quick snog behind the blacksmiths on a rainy day in Wooler.
Yes, now, this Porto stout and...
He was never that serious about me anyway. He was always too hung up with that Wendy Thwaites.
Wendy Thwaites?
Don't look at me.
That was nice. That was nice, just cutting out like that. Leaving me to cope. Leaving me to cope with the Wendy Thwaites revelation. Thanks a bunch.
It's your own fault, mate. Don't come whining to me. You're always acting the injured innocent, aren't you? Too trusting, too loving, and you've been putting it about more than anybody.
I have always been faithful to Thelma. In principle.
In principle, you've made an art of infidelity, you have. And now your past is catching up with you. I wish mine would.
Is it Terry Collier?
Yes?
Glenys Roberts.
Glenys!
Yeah, I haven't seen you since I was taking ill at Sound of Music.
Of course, of course. You feeling better?
Yes, thanks. I heard you were back.
Would you like a little...
No, I'll work it, temporary-like. Perhaps later.
Oh, certainly, certainly. We could talk over old times, eh?
Oh, happy days.
Weren't they just...
I've got such fond memories. Bob!
Glenys!
Bob, how wonderful to see you.
I'll swing for him. I will. I'll bloody swing for him.